Well, we're still talking about the current judgment by the Supreme Court on, the seizure of the funds to River State government, and we'll have a security expert to join us and give us his perspective. He's Chief Jackson Lekan. He is a security expert and executive protection officer. He's talking to us on River State and recent court judgment, uh, you know, uh, on the issue with the River State government. All right. Good morning, Mr. Ojo. Can you hear us clearly?
I'm hearing you very clearly. Good morning.
All right, Mr. Ojo. Uh, on the recent judgment by the Supreme Court, what or how do you see the power balance now between the executive and the legislative arm of River State? What is the implication of this judgment on the power balance between the executive and the legislature in River State?
Yeah, we thank God that over above 1 year ago now, we have been battling all this political crisis in River State. There have been no unity among the government and the people, and people are brother fight brother, sisters fight sisters because of all these problem. But we thank God that the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, has applied its supremacy on this, and there is anybody that is not satisfied now can only appeal to God, and God, I think, is for everybody. So to me, the right thing will begin now to move in River State. What do I mean by that? It is an aberration of the law. It is a total bastardization of democracy in a situation whereby the people that have the power of check and balances over the executive, the proxy of the people, 32 people representing 32 state constituencies, have not been talking, mingling privately or officially with the executive, headed by the governor. It is not the best. Look at 2024 budget was presented to assembly of 3 persons. You understand? And the Court of Appeal ruled that that budget should be presented back to them. But the governor, because he did not enjoy personal relationship or with the House, he didn't do that. 2025 has been sent to the same 3-man panel. You understand? But thank God, everything is settled now. The governor now must obey the Supreme Court. Every other person now must obey. So there is no disobedience, and if there is no disobedience, there will be progress in River State.
All right, Chief Ojo, you spoke
Yes.
to the fact that the River State government didn't follow constitution in presenting the budget
Yes.
to
Mostly I
the
said
State
it.
House of Assembly of just 3 persons. But you will recall that the other members of the House of Assembly openly defected to APC, making them actually lose their seats according to the constitution. They lost their seats because it was out there in the public domain. There was an affidavit to that effect, and there was actually a rally that is, of course, as well in the public domain. Now, how would you respond to that, seeing that they openly defected and this River State government was left with just 3 members of the House?
Okay. A lot of Nigerians are always making mistakes when it comes to this issue. We have 3 arms of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. One is to legislate and enact law. Then the other one is to execute it. Then the other one is to interpret the law. If the law says these people automatically lose their position, immediately they decamp from the party that gives them the platform. Yes, it is standing as the law, and it is supreme, but something must be done. If you have generator in your house, you fuel the generator, they own the generator, and Nobody to go and change over. Will the generator transmit current to the house? No. In this case, somebody must enforce the law. Somebody must interpret the law. The law is made, but somebody must interpret the law. And that is a court of coordinate jurisdiction, a court of competent jurisdiction, must enforce it to make sure, to interpret it, and to make sure that yes, these people must go. That is it. So if there is no law that interprets it, if there is no office that interprets it, definitely we are wasting our time. A lot of people depend on that. The law says a criminal is a criminal. But if somebody, that same law says, if somebody comes to your house with gun, you must still arrest the person and take the person to court, and it is only the court that have the power to pronounce the person a criminal. Look at that. So somebody must interpret, a court must interpret. It is not as automatic as people are thinking. No. Even if anybody in your office there flouted the law of the company, the person will not just flout the law and begin to walk away. And they say, why are you walking away? Because I flouted the law. No. There are some panel that must sit down there and try him and say, okay, this person has disobeyed the law of the company. And it does not end there. They must pronounce a punishment. If they didn't pronounce a punishment, the person is still free. So that is the issue.
All right, Chief. What I could pick from your explanation is the need to interpret and to enforce the law.
Yes.
Now, if in any event the River State government gives an application for a review of this judgment, and it is interpreted and enforced differently from what, of course, we are seeing from the judgment today, what would be your take on that?
Except there is no body that can interpret. This is the ruling, it's a pronouncement, it's an order of the Supreme Court. It's only God now. The government can only take this one to God. The president cannot do anything as far as this matter is concerned. The National Assembly cannot do anything as far as this matter is concerned. Even if they want to become this matter, review the law tomorrow, it will become effective after a new law has been enacted. So yes, as of today, the government do not have any alternative than to obey the order of the Supreme Court. And it is not difficult for him. They were working together before problem arises. That problem will not be there forever. They can still resolve and still work together, not for their own interest. There is difference between personal relationship and official relationship. They may not enjoy personal relationship, but when it comes to the issue of official relationship, everybody must do his own according to the dictate of the law. That is the situation we are now.
All right, Chief Ojo, you did mention something. You said that they were working together before there were issues, talking about the executive and the legislature of River State.
Yes.
Could you, expound on what you meant by they were working together before there were issues, and what were those issues?
There were serious official and personal relationship between the executive and between the executive and the legislative arms before. It was after the purported impeachment move by the State House of Assembly that the crisis started. Before, they were doing things together. They cleared the first set of commissioners. The governor presented it to them. He cleared them. He cleared some other appointments. There are some contracts that they need to look before they approve it. They were doing all these things together before the crisis erupted. And is it possible that the crisis cannot be stopped? They can stop the crisis. But they have gotten to the stage now that they must work together. Anybody that is not ready to work with anybody now should resign. The government must present all documents that need legislative approval. It must present it to the legislative arms now. And they, too, must study it and treat it with its merit. That is it. So they have gotten to that point now that they must work together. That is no alternative, no option.
All right, Chief Ojo, you did mention something. And then other people, there are some schools of thought that feel that the recent Supreme Court judgment will breed some sort of anarchy in Rivers State, given the fact that there's been allocation cut. There's the allocation to Rivers State has been stopped. Now, what do you think would be security implications going forward in Rivers State with these, pronouncements in the judgment?
Can I tell the whole world something? This Supreme Court order that said they should stop the allocation of Rivers State can be vacated between now and Tuesday next week. How? It's a conditional something. If the governor will continue the way he's running the state now without the legislative arms, that is to say there won't be proper appropriation. And in that case, what happens? In that case, that is why the Supreme Court said they should stop the allocation. But in a situation whereby the governor presents everything that needs legislative approval to these legislative arms, there won't be. It's like you tell your son, if you dress well in the morning, I will give you, if you dress well this morning, I'm going to give you money. If you're going to come out dirty, you won't give him money. But if you dress out well, you will give him the money. So that is it.
Yes.
It's a condition that may not last for more than 1 week. If that condition remains for the next 2 weeks, it is the governor that is causing it. Because if by Monday now, if the governor communicates to the legislative arms that by total day I'm bringing the budget I'm representing budget 2025 before you, immediately that one is done, that has vacated the order automatically.
All right.
That is it.
Chief Ojo, if you can hear me. Now, your statement is purely conditional because you keep using the word if, which means it could go either way. So if the governor decides, maybe follows his own advisors and decides to go the other way, do you see a possibility of anarchy in Rivers State or breakdown in security because, of course, civil servants won't be paid and a lot of things wouldn't be done because of the budget cuts? So what are your thoughts on this?
The people of Rivers State are not stupid. Nigerians that are monitoring this issue are not stupid. They know that the simple thing now to be done is for the governor to obey the Supreme Court by recognizing the 27 members until any court in the future will remove them. They ask that now there is no court in the land that have pronounced them illegal. And that was the reason why the Supreme Court recognized them. So if the governor refuses to do this now, the governor is already breaking the law. And it is the governor now that is writing application to serious anarchy. The Bible even said that obedience is better than sacrifice. It's just a simple obedience. Work the way you should work. There is no democratic setting in the world where executive can work without the legislative arms. That is no longer executive. That is no longer democracy. That has become pseudo-democracy. Or can I call it autocracy? So there is nothing ambiguous in this matter. You have been working with them, and you are the one that you're supposed to work with, and that's why the matter has not gone to court. to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court order must be obeyed until the contrary happens from any other court. So go and work with them. Is he going to meet them one-on-one? He will communicate with them. In a situation whereby they need to see him, they will write to him. He will go and see them. It is not ambiguous. It is not difficult.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.